Hey guys, you're watching Matt the Musketeer, and today I wanted to start off my video by showing you guys this clip. Now, a few nights ago, my friends and I were playing some games, and we were constantly getting spawn killed as we tried to spawn in the helicopter by the enemy, Little Bird. Now, as you can see, I tried to spawn into the helicopter, I was locked onto straight away, jumped out and managed to kill the guy who's called Hawkeye NL and was the server admin straight away. Now, it's his own server and it says no base rape in the rules, but he was going around base raping people on his own server. I killed him, and lo and behold, I get kicked. So I just wanted to start off today's video by showing you guys that clip. If you ever do come across a server called Destiny of Heroes, or their server admin called Hawkeye NL, just tell him from me, not cool dude, that was really not cool. I just wanted to start off this video, show you guys that clip, name and shame some bad admin right there. But anyway, let's move on to better things. So this gameplay right here was a real shotgun fest. I don't even remember why I joined a game of Close Quarters. For me, Close Quarters is kind of a go-to map pack. When I jump on Battlelog sometimes and I see all the options of game modes and maps in front of me, and sometimes I want to play Battlefield 3, but I just don't want to play the options that are shown in front of me. So for me, when I feel like that, Close Quarters is kind of that go-to map pack that I can play when I'm still trying to decide what kind of game modes I want to jump into that day. It's also quite a good way to warm up for a long session on Battlefield. I know a lot of people, their kind of go-to map at the start of a Battlefield session is stuff like Team Deathmatch on Noshar Canals or Karg Island. But for me, Close Quarters is always the one I like to go to when I really don't know what I want to play on Battlefield 3 yet. So at the start of this video, I wanted to briefly ask you guys, what is your kind of go-to map pack when you're unsure what kind of game modes and games you want to jump into? Now, I know in my Battlefield 3 The Legacy video, I did say that my favourite map and game mode is Conquest on Grand Bazaar, and that is true, but it isn't the kind of go-to map. Because I enjoy it so much, it's kind of a difficult game mode, you know, it's quite intense. If I'm just jumping onto the game for the first time that evening, or maybe just want a kind of chilled out game where I'm not really bothered about doing too well and I just want to, you know, mess around, that isn't actually the thing I want to go onto, because that's, you know, that's the kind of game mode I jump onto if I want a really intense, epic game that I have to really concentrate for. So if I don't want to do that, I just want to kind of chill out and, you know, just shoot the shit quite literally, then Close Quarters is kind of my go-to map pack. Now in this game, absolutely everyone was using a shotgun. And it's quite funny because if you keep reading in the little comments in the top left there was about 4 people who were still raging, going, everybody's using a shotgun, stop using the shotguns. And I thought, you know, if one guy was going around beasting with a shotgun and nobody else was, maybe, you know, you could have right to complain, but literally everyone in the server, apart from like 4 guys, was using shotguns, and it just made me think, just fucking shut up and use a shotgun, or just leave the server. But, you know, everyone else was having a whale of a time, just, you know, shotgunning away, so those guys did make me laugh, but keep an eye out for them in the top corner. It was quite funny watching them rage. Now, the reason I was using a shotgun is because shotguns are something that I never ever used to use in the past, and as I've said previously, I'm trying to get as much out of Battlefield 3 as I can by using weapons I don't normally use. Now, in my previous video, I did use a shotgun on Noshar Canals, and I actually got some people leaving comments saying, you know, why don't you reload more while you're running around, and actually giving me advice on how to use the shotguns a little bit better. So this gameplay is since that video, so I've actually been taking people's advice from that, you know, that video's comment sections about how to use the shotguns a little bit more effectively. And you will see during this game, at first I am using the flechette rounds, I think, but eventually I actually swap out to the slug rounds just to try and, you know, like I said, mix and match up a little bit. I used to be crap with the slug rounds, so I intentionally started using them to try and, you know, just mix that shit up a little bit. Now, today I wanted to ask you guys, when Battlefield 4 comes out, which map style would you like to see in the game the most on its release? Obviously, with Battlefield 3, we were given lots of different map styles throughout lots of different, you know, map packs. We got Close Quarters, which is very kind of Call of Duty, close range, rushing around. We got kind of obviously the classic Battlefield styles map like Armoured Kill and stuff like that, and Caspian Border, which are a lot more original Battlefield classic style maps. And then we got quite new things to the series, things like Sen Crossing, which I think was quite a new kind of style to Battlefield. I'd never seen maps like Sen Crossing in Battlefield games previously. Now, before Battlefield 3 came out, I was actually a massive fan of things like Arica Harbour on Bad Company 2. So when I first got Battlefield 3 and I saw maps like Sen Crossing, at first I was like, oh man, am I going to really like this map? Am I really going to like this game? But since then, things like Sen Crossing and, you know, Grand Bazaar have turned out to be some of my favourite maps. So it's quite interesting how your perception of maps and, you know, playstyles does change over time. So I wanted to ask you guys, when Battlefield 4 comes out of all the different map styles that we have in Battlefield 3, Which of those would you prefer to see in Battlefield 4? Now, I'm assuming that with Battlefield 4, we will be kind of subject to a whole range of map styles as we are in Battlefield 3. But if you could pick one map style that you got from the beginning of Battlefield 4 before any kind of premium expansions came out, what would you want to see? Would you want to see maps like this, smaller, more close quarter maps, or would you want to see maps more like the vanilla Battlefield 3 maps, things like Seine Crossing and Grand Bazaar? Or would you rather see classic Battlefield maps, things like Caspian Border, and even bigger than that still, the kind of maps we got with Armoured Kill? Now recently, a lot of YouTubers have been doing their top 5 favourite Battlefield 3 maps. Now in my video, Battlefield 3 The Legacy, I did tell you my top number 1 map, which is of course Grand Bazaar. But after that, to pick 4 more maps, I actually find very difficult because there are so many maps that I like across Battlefield 3. Interestingly, across all of the different map packs, I like things from Close Quarters, especially things from Aftermath. I even like things from Armoured Kill now and again. So for me, I find it very difficult to pick which kind of Battlefield 3 themed maps I'd like to see most in Battlefield 4 from the start of the game. But if I really had to pick, I must say the maps that I find myself enjoying the most are things from the Aftermath map packs and actually the vanilla maps, as I said, things like Grand Bazaar and Seine Crossing. So if Battlefield 4 came out with a mixture of those kind of style maps in terms of the way they played and the way they looked, I would be really happy with the way Battlefield 4 would begin its life. But that's all from me, guys. In the comment section below, I want to hear from you. Tell me what you think, and if you did enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.